my fiery Leos, it's Skully Sati. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel to see what I see for you guys for the year 2020. And I just want to thank you guys for the ones who have been sticking with me and sending me little messages kind of urging me to get new videos out. I appreciate that. It does show me that I'm supposed to be doing this. So I apologize for not really being regular just yet, but I am going to be working on some kind of a format that best works for me, so I could still do what I'm supposed to be doing, which is delivering messages to you guys, but to be able to fit it in with everything else that's going on in my life with new goals and all that other good stuff. So I will be coming on, you know, definitely a bit more in a predictable manner, okay? All right, love. So what I'm going to be doing for the quick 2020 overview is I'm going to be drawing a card from my lovely Deviant Moon Tarot deck. And it's going to be kind of the card of the year, like the overall feeling, or, you know, something that we need to get through, the overall theme, okay? And we'll kind of dig into that after that, okay? All right, my lovely Leos. So what is going on for us for the year 2020, or I'm sorry, for you guys? What's going on for you guys for the year 2020? And just keep in mind, guys, as always, not everything that I'm going to be tapping into is going to resonate with all of you guys, but with this particular thing that I'm doing here, there is going to be something that, you know, you will find useful. I can almost guarantee that, okay? All right, loves. What's going on for Leo? What is the card of the year for you guys? What is going on for 2020? Oh, okay. The Hermit card. Hermit card. Now, he doesn't look that happy, granted. Yes, yes, yes. But the Hermit card is not actually an all bad card. It's not a bad card at all, actually. The Hermit card, you know, is telling you that you are going to be, you know, really learning this year how to be okay with being solitary, having solitary time. You know, if you are one that was prone to codependent relationships before, this is going to be a year where you are going to be breaking that particular pattern. Okay, the Hermit card is one that is very comfortable being alone. This is somebody who, you know, enjoys their solo time. They take that time to really dig in deep within themselves. You know, they do meditation, they do things, they play music, they do art, whatever it is that gets them into a state where they're learning something about themselves. That's what the Hermit does. They take control of their alone time. They're totally fine with it. Now, the Hermit card doesn't mean that you guys are not going to have any friends, or you're not going to have any family around you, or you're not going to, you know, fall in love or have a spouse. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you are going to be able to take some time for yourself, like perhaps a bit more time than you have in the past, to be able to really focus on yourself, to be able to rebuild things that may have been lacking, or, you know, a little bit thirsty because we were really busy focusing on the needs of other people, right? Or, you know, things of that nature, like not putting the focus back on ourselves, but rather just really focusing out your efforts and your attention onto outside forces, okay? So not being able to go in as much as you should have been, right? This is going to be the year that you guys are going to, you know, rectify that, okay? Now, let's look a little bit deeper into, you know, some advice for that. How can the Leos, you know, really accomplish that with some sort of ease, right? Because for those who are used to being in codependent relationships or friendships, whatever, you know, that could be really hard for you guys to have to step back from always being, you know, with somebody, or to always have their needs and everything put before yours, right? Because you've got, again, external things that we've been putting our focus on, as opposed to really delving within the self. Now, that also means that old wounds are probably going to come up for you guys, old traumas, you know, because there's a reason why, you know, we tend to do the patterns and the things that we do, get involved with certain people. Like, you know, if you were one that is prone to the codependent relationships, you know, there might have been something. I'm not going to say might have, you know, because I really do feel like, you know, I believe in origin wounds. I talk about this relatively often, but I do believe that, you know, the patterns that we entrench ourselves in and that we keep acting out over and over again have to do with our upbringing in some way, okay? So for ones that may have been in codependent relationships where, you know, you really needed this other person's validation, you needed this outside validation, you needed, you know, to be able to try to please this person so much, you know, so that you can feel like you're serving a purpose. That can be related to something in your childhood. So, you know, it could be related to dad, you know, it could be related to mom. I feel like this is going to be the year for you guys, Leos, that you're going to start to figure that out a little bit so that you can learn to be very comfortable with not having to be, you know, within something that you need outside validation for, okay? So let's look, let's see what advice they want to give you guys, you know, to see how you can really do that. Okay, so Six of Pentacles. Reciprocity. That's perfect, right? Six of Pentacles is about wanting a give and take and inequality with your relationships and with your, you know, your dealings with other people and, you know, things of that nature. And that's perfect for ones who have been in codependent relationships before, you know, or ones who, you know, basically you did all the work, right? You did all the work for this relationship and nothing really came of it because this person wasn't giving back to you. Well, this is going to be the year, guys, that's how you're going to steer your relationships, you know, your friendships, who you know, choose to give your attention, affection, and time to, and your effort to, right? You're going to use that as, you know, your compass to be able to say, like, am I getting something out of this exchange? Is it really an exchange, or am I really just allowing somebody to feed on me again, right? Am I being a host to somebody, you know, where I'm not getting anything in return? Am I being drained by a psychic vampire? You know, things of that nature. I feel like that's going to be your way of measuring, like, let me just stop. Let me take some solitary time away from whatever this, you know, situation or relationship is, this friendship, whatever it is. Let me take a step back and just take some solitary time, and let me just kind of measure, you know, is this good for me, right? Like, am I getting something positive out of this? Or am I leaving this particular thing always feeling like I'm drained, or like I'm not good enough, or like I need to be doing more, right? Or, you know, feeling like you're not getting anything in return, which isn't fair, right? Because everything should be in balance, right? There are times when you give, but there should also be times when you receive from the same person, right? We can't always be the givers, because then we're constantly letting our energy be drained out, and we're not having anything to refill that for ourselves. So the energy that we end up giving and that kind of an exchange or connection is broken energy, because we're not refilling. We're not being able to be revitalized, right? Because we're not receiving. So the stuff that we're giving out isn't really the best. It's not the best quality. And it's not because we don't mean it to be, but it's just because we're not doing anything to nourish ourselves again, okay? And I feel like for the Leos that I'm tapping into for this year, you guys are definitely going to be taking some hermit time, right? And you're going to be examining, like, is this something that has an equal give and take to it? Is there reciprocity here, right? Because if there's not, you're going to have to ask yourself, why am I allowing myself to stay in this situation? And, you know, keep in mind, this doesn't have to be for romantic stuff. This could be a career. This could be a job, right? It could be something, you know, that you have been giving everything to because you have a good work ethic, right? You have something that you're like, I want to be proud of my product. And yet they're not giving back to you. And so this may be the year for the Leos that I'm tapping into, where you're looking at your situation, you're like, you know, my loyalty is wonderful. It's a wonderful aspect of myself, but is it appreciated here, right? Like, I deserve to have something given back to me. And I feel like that's what you guys are going to be accomplishing this year by taking the hermit time that you need, the solitary time you need to be able to, you know, step back from something objectively and to be able to look at it and say, is this something where there's an equal balance? Am I getting something valuable out of this, you know? You know, is there an exchange here? And if there's not, and if you feel like you're the one that's always giving and not being refilled, I feel like this is going to be the year that you're going to step back and be like, you know, I think I'm cool just being alone. I think I'm cool exiting this particular situation, you know, and dealing with this. And I feel like, you know, that's going to prompt you guys to do a little bit digger deeping too, to figure out, like, why do I feel like I always have to be the one that's always giving, right? why do I feel like I can't receive? So this is going to be a really big year for Leos, and I'm really excited for that. So if you guys need my help with anything, if you want to set up a personal reading with me, the link to my website is down there. It's brand new. It's got my pricing. It's got all my services on there. Feel free to check that out. Contact me through there or through my email address as below, as always. And you guys, this is going to be a great year. 2020, whenever I hear 2020, I think about hindsight. Hindsight is 2020. This is going to be the year that we're digging in deep, right? And that we're going to see where these origin wounds are, where in childhood, where in my adolescence did this problem start, you know? And to be able to really look at the situations and say, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I'm going to break this pattern because it's not really doing anything for me. Okay? Oh, my beautiful lions. I hope this was helpful. I will definitely be back on here sooner than later. I promise you guys. I love you guys. I'll be seeing you soon. Happy New Year. Bye.